Now, a player's structure really matters in real football. And in eFootball, it matters a lot more. You know that moment when you're playing a division match and out of nowhere, there's that one particular player in your opponent's squad that refuses to miss chances? They seem to win every tackle, quick to recover ball, and somehow keep control even after getting smashed from behind? I'm talking about players like Samuel Eto'o, Rummenigge, Vera, Virgil van Dijk, and other great names. You might think it's just luck or maybe scripting, but I'm here to tell you it's absolutely not. What's really happening is a combination of hidden physics and body mechanics that most eFootball players never pay attention to. In today's video, I'll be breaking down these three most underrated factors in eFootball. Let's start with leg length. Now, when people hear leg length, they immediately think of height. But in eFootball, it's not just about being tall, it's about how far your legs can reach during motion when stretched. Players with long legs naturally cover more ground with every stride. This affects everything: sprinting, tackling, intercepting passes, shooting, even dribbling. When you control a player with long legs, you'll notice that he can stretch into tackles that other players simply can't reach. On defense, this is huge. Picture someone like Van Dijk or Patrick Vieira. When the opponent tries a through ball, their leg reach gives them that extra margin to cut it off. It's like their interception zone is simply larger. But it's not just defense. For attackers, long legs often mean easy goals. A tall striker with long, high leg length can cover a distance in fewer steps than a shorter defender. Think about when you sprint with a player like Ruud Gullit or Erling Haaland. It feels powerful, smooth, like the pitch itself is shorter for them. Now, the other side of leg length is recovery. After a tackle or loose ball, longer legs allow faster reach of the ball. That's why these players rarely stumble. They regain control quickly with a little or no stress. Next is torso collision, or simply put, shoulder-to-shoulder challenge. Now, this one's all about physics and stability. It decides how your player reacts when the body meets pressure. Body contact, tackles, bumps, all of that. Players with high torso collision don't just rely on raw strength. They use their core balance to stay upright. It's what makes a defender unmovable when he's shielding, or a striker impossible to knock off the ball when backing into an opponent. You've probably noticed it. Two players collide, same strength rating, but one just keeps his footing. That's torso collision at work. It measures how efficiently the player's upper body distributes impact and maintains balance. In eFootball, this becomes a silent weapon. When you go shoulder to shoulder, the player with better torso collision holds his line and can still pass or dribble out, while the other one stumbles or loses self-control. It also determines who wins those chaotic loose ball fights after rebounds or blocked shots. The ones who stay upright always react first. That's because their center of gravity is unshakable, even under pressure. And for defenders, high torso collision means dominance. They can body strikers away without fouling and absorb impact without losing control. It's not flashy, but it's the foundation of consistent defending. And if you've ever wondered why some players feel heavy but strong in-game, while others feel light and unstable, it's mostly because of how their torso collision interacts with physics. Arm coverage. Most players don't even know this one is actually a thing. But if you've ever seen players subtly using their arms to protect the ball or maintain balance while sprinting, that's arm coverage in action. Arm coverage is how a player uses their arms to stay balanced, protect the ball, and keep control when there's contact. It's not about strength, it's about skill. It's like making your opponent move around the ball while you stay in control without even touching them. Now, when a player has good arm coverage, you'll notice smoother movement even when he's under pressure. He can dribble while being challenged from behind and still keep his composure. His running animations look tighter, more balanced. He doesn't get thrown off by shoulder nudges. It's especially noticeable in tight spaces when two players brush shoulders or contest the same ball. A high arm control player uses subtle movement to stay composed and fluid, and that tiny detail often decides who keeps possession. In eFootball, you'll notice players like Vera, Thuram, or even Rummenigge and Eto'o not just relying on strength, they use their arms smartly. They absorb contact, balance themselves, and redirect the opponent's force like it's nothing. That's why they're so tough, and taking the ball from them feels almost impossible. Now let's talk about how these three work together. Here's where it gets interesting. When a player has an attribute's skills combined, that's when he feels complete. Long legs give him reach and coverage. Strong torso collision gives him stability, and good arm coverage gives him smoothness and composure under pressure. Defensively, that combination makes a nightmare for attackers, because even if you get past him, his recovery stride and physical balance pull him right back into the play. You'll notice that players with all three high are usually the ones who control the tempo of the game. They slow it down when needed, shield effectively, and win duels without excessive tackles. Thanks for watching. Drop a like if you learned something. Subscribe, it's cheaper than therapy.